I gave you my heart.
Good morning, honeybees. This is Alyssa with Twin Cup Tarot, and I have another pick a card reading here for you today. This is going to be career messages. So honestly, this could be anything in regards to your career. It could be leave the job, stay at the job, do this in the job, who knows? This is the career you should go into. Sky's the limit, and I'm really excited to see how this reading manifests. But anyway, guys, we have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1 represented by Libra, pile number 2 represented by Jupiter, and pile number 3 represented by the 7th house. But as usual, keep in mind that energy is fluid, time is an illusion, roles can be reversed, and this may not be your story. And that's okay. There's so many amazing readers out there. One of them will resonate with you. As usual, honeybees, timestamps will be in the description, and I will meet you at your pile. Hello, my pile 1 people, or those of you who felt drawn to Libra. This is your reading. Okay, this was interesting for sure. I got a couple specific scenarios, so it may not apply to all of you, but here we go. So Libra talks very much about harmonious relationships, balanced relationships. So one story I kind of heard is that in whatever career you have, there might be like an office romance going on. You might actually be connecting with someone romantically at work, okay? But there might be some turbulence, some conflict. It could have to do with like a conflict of interest of some sort. You guys might have been very harmonious together, romantically, but there's something within the workplace that has thrown a wrench in the harmony, thrown a wrench in the peace. Maybe you guys got frustrated with each other at work, or something stressful happened at work, or maybe someone stepped in because they realized what was going on. I'm not really sure, but for some of you, I see that being the scenario. For some of you, you are in a committed relationship and you're having struggles within your career that you're actually, unfortunately, bringing home, and it's affecting your relationship with your partner. I also just heard that you could be struggling. There might be a struggle in the connection with your children. If you have children, that your career might be affecting your children somehow. For some of you, maybe you felt like maybe your partner wants to have children, or you want to have children, and for some reason, you and or your partner feel like your career is holding you back. I just feel like your career is basically affecting your connection with somebody else. It is what I'm feeling. It's so interesting because I am getting a lot of stories here. And a lot of you, if that's the case, if there's a connection being affected, a dear connection in your life, I see that you feel, with the way card showing up here and the stars right above it, that you guys literally feel like you're at a crossroads. And with the key here, that once you make a decision, you can't go backwards down this path. It's basically you take one step forward into one or the other path, and you're locked into the choice. So there's some fear. There's some fear, and there might be some stubbornness here as well, where you might be being stubborn because this is something you've put a lot of work into, or someone else is being stubborn. It could be that I feel some of you, whether this has to do with a connection romantically or not, but I believe a lot of you, this does, you might have tried to get a promotion. You might have gone to your boss and asked for higher wages. You might have put in an effort to improve your position within the company, or I feel like for some of you, it might not be like a traditional company. I don't know what that means, but some of you might be part of an organization that's not, I don't know. I don't know. It's very interesting. There's just something that you do for a living that brings in income for you. And you're having some kind of conflict in improving your situation in that career, in that organization. And for some of you, it's about freeing up more time to spend on these connections that you have with people you care about. And for some of you, you just don't feel like you're making enough money in order to support the people at home or to support yourself, and that is affecting your connection with others. Wow, this is kind of confusing. I feel like I said, I feel like across the board the message is a little bit different. But regardless, I pulled, so I have a little playing card deck where I write intuitive messages on. As you can see, I'm wearing my pink fuzzy robe today, because why not? I wrote intuitive messages on this playing card deck that I felt at the time. Ooh, let's see if I can focus there. So what I got for this pile: you were holding on too tightly, let go. Let go and trust that if it's truly meant for you, it will stay or return to you. Okay, so I get a couple things here. One, you're at a crossroads right now. You have two paths ahead of you. There is no wrong choice here. I want to emphasize that. There is no wrong choice. It is simply which path you want to walk down and what you want your future to look like and what you want the scenery to look like, okay? So if you feel trapped between, let's say you are in a romantic connection and things are not committed, okay? And you're struggling in your career, in the workplace, and basically you've realized you can only have one or the other in some capacity. If this is someone you work with, maybe you realize that you really care about this person and you want to move forward in the connection, but you know that you can't do that and work with them. Okay, it could be something like that, or it could be that, like I said before, that maybe something at home is struggling because you're having to spend so much time and energy at work, or you're simply not able to make the finances that you need to, in this job. And basically it's about choosing what is more important to you. That's not even the right phrase either. But either way, I'm seeing that you have to make a decision. You can't just stay at that crossroads, because if you stay at that crossroads, eventually you're going to notice a wall behind you that's going to start coming towards you and essentially push you one direction or the other. This does have an hourglass attached to it. It does have a timetable. So if you want to be able to make this decision on your own, you're going to have to make the decision and make it soon. Okay? With this let go and trust, it's basically saying you have to choose one path and let go of the other. So for some of you, depending on your situation, you're going to go, okay, so my family is more important. My connection with my partner is more important. So I'm going to let go of this career. It's scary. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to be happier, but I'm going to let go of this career, and I am going to trust that I will find something more suited to me and my family elsewhere. Okay? For those of you in that boat, I would say start job searching for sure now. Try not to just leave your job without having something lined up. And that's not something I'm reading here. That's just a little extra advice. Don't completely jump off the cliff there. Make sure you have a parachute. The other story I'm getting is if you have, this office romance, or you have this connection that's not committed, some of you might go, well, I like this person, but I know that this is the career for me. So I'm going to let go of this person and continue in my career. Okay. And what this is saying is let go and trust that if it is truly meant for you, it will stay or return to you. So just because you're letting go of one thing and choosing the other, that doesn't mean that you are going to lose out on the other half. Okay. I know that sounds like a paradox, but it's basically saying if you choose your family, if this career is meant for you, it will basically transform into something that works for you. So for instance, if you put in your notice at your job and your boss goes, no, 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 we need you. You're incredible. I want to work with you. So how about I give you this position where you have more pay and more time at home? Right there, it just worked in your favor because you let go and you trusted. Or it could be that you leave this job, this company, this organization that couldn't fulfill your needs, and then you have another business or organization in the same field that actually is able to give you everything you were looking for. And likewise, let's say you choose, your career over this other connection, and that person goes, well, I understand why you had to do that, and I'm going to work with you. And then you're still able to have that. Or, that person goes, well, fine, and they leave, and then all of a sudden another person comes into your life and you find that your connection is even more fulfilled and wonderful with this new person. So either way, things are going to work out. It's just about letting go and trusting that if it's something that's meant to be, it will be. Otherwise, you will find something that fulfills your needs more. Wow, that was interesting, Pile 1. I'm super excited. That was kind of a new type of reading for me, just having a general topic and going from there. But I hope you guys liked it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below and let me know if this resonates with you. I love you so much. Have a wonderful day. Hello, my Pile 2 people, or those of you who felt drawn to Jupiter. This is your reading. Okay, guys, so I'm getting a couple things here. For one, some of you don't feel appreciated in your workplace, don't feel appreciated in your career. You may feel like with the fox here and the moon right underneath of it that people might be trying to manipulate you, that people might be trying to charm you into submission. Essentially, I'm getting the image of a slick boss here. Someone who appears to be very caring, appears to be very considerate, but behind closed doors, you feel like they're being cunning, that they're being manipulative, that they're really doing things behind the scenes that don't serve your highest good. It might be that they're very good with their words, very good at expressing themselves, and they're very good at charming people. So they can sometimes charm people into accepting lower wages than an employee deserves, okay? So what I'm getting here is that I'm getting a lot of you are really caring people. Okay, really caring people, that you have a big heart and that you do what you can for others. And you might have a big sense of loyalty in regards to the place that you work now. I feel like that's what's kept you in this job is loyalty. Okay, and your want and need to help others. But what I'm seeing here with the banquet is that you need to recognize the needs of yourself. Okay, you need to recognize that you have needs. Even if you're reaching your financial needs, maybe there's an emotional need not being met here. You don't feel appreciated. You don't feel like you're being valued in general. So with the Jupiter here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it kind of looks like they're bungee jumping or skydiving. And definitely Jupiter is talking about taking those risks, taking that leap off the cliff. Sometimes it's dangerous risks, but it's basically also about good luck. Okay, it's about having really good luck in following your intuition and taking leaps of faith. So what I'm seeing here, with the sun and with I want to say this one's called Innocence, but actually let me double check that here. I don't want to steer you wrong here. The child, little girl, Innocence, yeah. So with that, I'm seeing you really need to... Some of you might have forgotten, what your dreams were as a child. As a child, you might say, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a dancer, I want to be an actress, I want to be a singer, I want to be a police officer. We have all these things that we think when we're children, and that changes over time. But what I see with this pile specifically is that you've known what you wanted to do since you were knee-high to a grasshopper, and it was something you truly feel passionate about. And I think if you looked back at whatever that was when you were a child, it's something you still feel passionately about now, but you might have just accepted, what you felt was practical. Okay. But what I'm seeing is this is strongly urging you to take that leap of faith. Okay. Take that leap of faith. Trust that this is not the career for you and that you should take a risk here. And I actually have a normal playing card deck that I wrote intuitive messages on, and I wanted to kind of get an idea of if this is, where you should be or where you should not be, or basically just to link in the whole reading. And in this specific, with this Jupiter taking a leap of faith here, I got, I don't know if that's focused or not. Sorry, guys, I don't know if you can read that at all, but it's yes, a new start of communication and truth expressed. Okay, so instead of it saying, yes, you should, stay in this career, I'm seeing, yes, take that leap of faith. And for some of you, it's actually not necessarily leaving the career. It's taking that risk and basically calling your boss's bluff and saying, okay, I know that I am worth more. I know that I deserve more because of the work that I put in, because of the dedication that I've shown you and this company, the loyalty. And if you can't give me the wage that I deserve, that I'm entitled to, or the position that I know that I deserve, that I've worked for, then I will have to respectfully leave. Okay, for some of you, it's having that adult conversation, looking at your boss and saying, I know I'm worth more. And if you can't match that, then I have to find someone who will match that. And I'm seeing that if that's your specific story, if you know that you should receive something like that from your current workplace, then you really should take that risk and look at your boss and say that. If your boss says no, then it's time to take that leap of faith. Follow exactly what you said and go somewhere where they appreciate you. For some of you, if you know this is not the career for you, if you look back at the child you and you go, wow, I'm so passionate about that. I never went for it because it wasn't practical in my mind when I became an adult, but that would make me truly happy. This is saying take that leap of faith and go after it. Go after it. With the moon and the sun, both in this reading, that is incredibly powerful because it's basically saying that what is on the surface is also underneath. Okay? So basically, I'm seeing that what you're seeing on the surface, the passions that you felt, the things that you love, are also what you want subconsciously, are also the things that you want on a deeper level. So go after your passions here, folks. Go after your passions. And that's truly going to make you happy. And just trust that luck is on your side. Just be careful in your delivery. I'm hearing that, skydiving can be very fun. By landing, it was definitely good luck. By surviving, it was definitely good luck. That everything worked perfectly. But be careful to not take that way overboard by jumping out of the plane without a chute. Okay? That's basically what I'm seeing. Still take the proper steps in order to keep yourself safe, keep yourself stable. For instance, taking that leap of faith doesn't mean just quit your job today and then hope that something gets lined up. No, it means, be responsible. Try to get something lined up ahead of time, put out those feelers, put in those applications, that kind of stuff. Follow all the steps you need to in order to keep your stability running, but definitely put your intent and work into that purpose. All right, pile 2, that was amazing. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below and let me know if this resonates with you. I love you so much. Have a wonderful day. Hello, my pile 3 people, or those of you who felt drawn to the 7th house. This is your reading. Okay, guys, this pile is intense. First of all, what the heck? Like, what the heck? Okay. This is not how I expected this reading to go. It's a career reading. Some of you, if you are single, or even not single. This is, like I said, this is intense. I'm seeing that you might meet your romantic soulmate very soon if you haven't already. And a lot of you are feeling some conflict right now, okay? Because this might be someone you work with or someone who is very involved with your financial stability in some aspect, or in your stability in some aspect. Some of you might not be single. Some of you might be in a relationship with somebody, and then you meet this person and there's something about them that tells you this is your romantic soulmate. Or some of you might think this is your romantic soulmate. I don't really know. Okay, so I feel as a tarot reader, oracle reader, it is literally my responsibility to tell you exactly what I see. But there is definitely kind of an ethical side to that, where there's certain things that I should not put out there, but I still have to try to be honest. So I am not going to speak to what your decision should be in that regards. Okay. My personal opinion is, if you are in a relationship or connection with somebody, if you have eyes for somebody else, really reevaluate the connection you're in at that moment and decide, if that's something you want to stay in, okay? Because my personal opinion, if you want to move forward with this new person, it's important that you communicate with the current person. And in my opinion, you should end that relationship. You shouldn't, because when you do something in a sneaky manner, and no judgment here, but when you do something under the surface and you do something that is not above board like that, things usually have a hard time working out in the new connection anyway, because it was started on false pretenses. So it's better just to have things out in the open. That's not to say you should look at your current partner and say, I'm in love with somebody else. But I think it is important, if you fell in love with somebody else and you aren't in an open relationship that's been communicated, then it's important to have that conversation with your current partner and say, hey, I'm not feeling what I once did, and I need to end this in whatever way you feel is best, in that situation. Definitely approach this with care if you're currently in a relationship with somebody else. Because like I said, I'm seeing a lot of caution here. A lot of caution here. Some of you might not... Oh, yeah, this is a hard one. I cannot speak to what your decision should be on this. I simply can't. Because it's going to be different across the board. And perfect example here is I have a normal playing card deck that I wrote intuitive messages on. And this one says, there is someone else in the situation. A choice still needs to be made. Okay. So this is your choice. Sorry, that's my coffee pot turning off. This is your choice, pile 3 people. Your choice. Okay. And there is really I'm hearing that there's no real wrong decision here, as long as you're following your heart and following your intuition. Okay. Now, one thing I do want to mention is it can be very common when you're in a committed relationship with someone for the long term that you have moments where you notice someone else and there's this feeling of newness, this feeling of excitement, and that can get your eyes to wander, simply because the relationship you're in at the time is known. And sometimes relationships long term can become stagnant because maybe one or both parties stop putting in the same amount of work that they did at the beginning. They stop trying to bring new flavors into the relationship. They stop trying to do new and exciting things with the relationship. They stop putting in the same amount of effort that they did before they had you or you had them. So it's important that pretty much every relationship gets into that lull eventually. And so just recognize that For some of you, this is not your romantic soulmate. You're with your romantic soulmate, but this is someone who's going to turn your head. So it's important to recognize if this is the real deal or if this is just one of those temporary kind of lulls in your current relationship. Okay? For some of you, that's the case. For some of you, you're in a romantic relationship where you feel codependent. With the dog here and with the snake right next to it, I'm just getting that a lot of you might be in a relationship where you feel codependent. You feel the spark is not there anymore. You don't really want to be with this person romantically anymore. It's just comfortable. Okay, and you might have a great friendship, companionship with your current partner, but that romantic spark is gone. Okay, and it's important to recognize that as well. And if that's the case, it's time to end codependent behavior. Okay, end that codependent behavior in the household. Okay, and sometimes that means leaving situations where we're comfortable because we know we're not fulfilled in them. Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so intense. And like I said, that's so specific, so that might not resonate with all of you, for sure. If you are single and you are not in any committed relationship right now, I'm seeing that you literally might have a romantic soulmate come into your life very soon, or you've noticed them already. But it's something you have to approach with care because once again, I see that this person might be in a relationship with somebody else. Okay, so approach this with care, approach this above board, especially if that person is not in an open relationship. Because if you approach this in a manner that's, not above board, if you approach this in a manner that's secretive, then I see a lot of challenges and hurdles in the future that you wouldn't have to deal with if you just simply, did things in kind of an open manner, okay? And respectful manner. Oh my gosh, guys, this is this is interesting for sure. For some of you, this has nothing to do with romance. This is why it's so confusing. Because the seventh house also talks about, businesses, but long-term businesses that you create a partnership in, or that you devote a high amount of. It's almost like if you start your own business, you basically started a partnership with that business. You started a connection relationship with that business, and it holds a very important part in your life. It's almost like a symbiotic relationship where you guys, even though you're the person and the business is the thing, your business almost takes a life of its own, and you develop an emotional attachment to it. So I'm also seeing that some of you might have the opportunity pretty soon to open up your own business, okay? And this is something that could definitely be the business of your dreams. It has so much potential. But with this snake card, and the house right next to it, the dog, the message, the mountaintop, I'm seeing that you can absolutely reach the peak here, everything you wanted. However, there might be a snake in the grass. There might be a snake under the bed or under the covers. Something. I feel like this kind of hits close to home, where you might have someone or something try to throw a wrench in your plan. So this is something that you have to approach in a very careful manner. And it's so intense. I'm hearing so many stories once again. I'm having a hard time pinpointing exactly what that deceit is, what that wrench is exactly. It could be a person who doesn't want to see you succeed. It could be a competitor in that business who doesn't want you to move forward in your business because it will affect theirs. It could be a million different things, but I'm hearing sabotage here, okay? But there's something with this business, as we said, there's someone else in the situation. A choice still needs to be made. There might be another person who affects the outcome here with your business, okay? And that might be why you have to approach it carefully or approach it in a certain manner. It could be It could be your partner doesn't like the idea of you going into this business, so you have to figure out a way to mold this business in such a way that it still is original, unique, fits your goals, your dreams, your desires, and what you want to see your business do. It's still successful, and it also fulfills the wants, dreams, goals, needs of your partner. And that could be a tightrope for sure. You know, trying to keep that balance between two people who've decided to walk, you know, their path together, and you wanting to move forward in this really amazing journey. So it could be that. It could be there's an investor that you're trying to woo into investing in your business. But there's something here you need to approach very, very carefully. Use your words wisely and try not to be brash here. Don't be a steamroller. I'm seeing this is going to take a lot of finesse. Wow, that was so interesting. Every pile was really interesting, but this one, oh my goodness, I was not expecting that. So I guess let me know if this resonated with you guys. I would love to hear your stories. You know, definitely comment down below. But anyway, as my usual spiel goes, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below and let me know if this resonates with you. I love you guys so much. Take care.